Hello guys and welcome to Azur Lane Meta. Today we're going to be taking my PvP fleet and putting it to the test. Spoiler alert, it does pretty well. Welcome back guys. We're just going to go over what I had to do to play to get my Admiral of the Navy for this season. I'm just going to be talking over a replay that I have here just because I was trying to do it fast at the time. So I'll kind of explain what's going on as we get through it. I'm using the team that I had in the other video to go for this. Here we have an Akaga fleet, which is Kaga and Akagi mixed with Enterprise. That is a triple carrier fleet, so this should actually not be too bad. I just have to get past their Vanguard and hit their carriers because they don't have any auxiliary guns to deal with that. But I get a few crits and just a lot of damage taken on my Vanguard here. So we're going to have a little bit of a trouble to get past their front row and kind of really start getting and assaulting their back line. But we still have Hiru and we still have a very powerful back line, so I really not too worried. I killed Kaga right there, so that decreases the buff that Akagi's going to get. So at this point, I'm not too worried. Hiru still hasn't procced her final counter skill. This should be a win, although Enterprise and her Lucky E skill could be annoying. But I have a Magi, sorry, that can deal with that off damage, the offset damage that will get around her Enterprise's invincibility. So we got through that one. Not too bad. This one was kind of a gift fleet. Somebody was not up on their game. They had not logged in and changed their defense fleet. Still, so they had their farming fleet still left in. So this is an easy, quick win right here. If you guys do want to kind of look out at what my team looks like the exact build and why I chose sort of the things that I did, you can go check out my other video where I explain more of that. And yeah, so here, like I said, just a pretty easy win. They only had two ships in there. They, like I said, you leave your defense fleet for farming when you get up while you're kind of farming through the levels, and then when you get to the very end and you reach, that's when you switch it to a good defense team. Here we actually have a good defense team hit here. The Neptune's kind of an interesting choice. But the back line, which is the most important, is solid here. So we could run into a few issues depending on whose hero procs first. She is pretty strong. Um, I forget what the other ones were that they had. Probably a Yukikaze, that would be pretty there. Wow, this is a pretty laggy replay. It's what happens when you run an emulator and a recording software and an audio software all at the same time. Yeah, okay, so it's Juno, Yuki, and Neptune. So basically, they pretty much the same team except that they went with Neptune over uh, St. Louis, which Neptune has a pretty good damage per second, but she just doesn't survive as long as St. Louis on average, and you can see that right here. The Neptune is already dead, and that kind of going to spell damage per second doesn't really matter if you have less seconds, right? Or I guess it does matter, but it's not as important when one has longer. And of course, we get the back line here first, and we get the hero to her or his my opponent's hero to proc first, and that should spell the match once we get somebody in the back row and the hero to proc. Yeah, that Yukikaze will just end it there. Um, so with 3-0 right here, very close to getting the Admiral of the Navy. This one is an interesting fleet. I saw a Centaur in there and an Amagi in there. I don't remember what the third ship was. Probably a Nagato or Hiru. We'll load up in a second. It's been a while since I actually recorded this. Yeah, it's Nagato. And then what's the front line? We have the Yukikaze. That's standard. Is that Belfast? I think Belfast and Yukikaze and San Diego. Okay, so the San Diego with the UR can actually deal some damage with the star skill, and can decrease a lot of the aviation damage that comes from the Hiru. Yeah, like there it just procced the I am number one and pretty much negated most of that aviation damage there, along with Belfast, right? That, but I think we end up killing the stuff. Yeah, there's the Pearl Tears. So um, the Pearl Tears and the Juno kept St. Louis alive through all of that. Um, so that was kind of nice. And then we got the Nagato proc. That was kind of nice. The Centaur is an interesting choice. Um, but yeah, there's just at this point Hiru hasn't procced, so it's kind of was going to be a given, because if they were to even have a strike that would kill me, Hiru would just proc 15 seconds, launch the load, and go. Um, so that's one of the why Hiru is so broken without Warch Spite retrofit. So here I saw a Monarch on that really quick load up. So a Warspite retrofit is not out yet, technically, or it's not possible to get. Enterprise and Amagi and Monarch. Okay, so they're probably getting ready for that Warspite retrofit. We got the front line. We got, I think, a Yukikaze. Is that Belfast? And it's really hard to see that middle one. Oh, San Diego. There it is. Yeah. So very similar team there, but like I said, Amagi is lined up perfectly for the Enterprise so that she can do her barrage off of Kilter, or off of the main invincibility strike of Enterprise. Uh, Her Amagi being in the center will just get demolished by like a Nagato strike, and the Monarch is probably the longest that's going to live there, but its heal skill is no match for Hiru's invincibility skill. So this should be another uh, decent win here. Yeah, the Monarch was the last there. Yep. And then Yuki got through. Sometimes Yuki gets through over the St. Louis. That might be because St. Louis doesn't have her 15 luck, which does play a role. And she also doesn't have an oath, so that doesn't have that stats boost. So there we go. We are currently ranked number one on the server. And we got our Admiral of the Navy for the season. So that's just kind of a recap of how you got it. Some proof that, the ship fleet that I gave is actually pretty good. Just and not everyone has to go and play for the meta. But I just, this channel is for giving you the tools to play optimally if that is the sort of game that you do want to play. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. It was meant to show that if you play Azur Lane frequently and intelligently, that you can be rewarded. Not everyone wants to play the most meta fleets there are, but this channel is intended to help those play better at the game. And so if you want to get better at the game, if you want to learn about things like this and see more videos like this, please subscribe. Also, if you need help with anything, join the Discord, and we can also respond on there, or comment on the YouTube video. I'm also going to be around here to deal with those. So thank you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Until next time.